Abubakar, Hassan Abubakar here, letting us know what progress they have done. And I promised you that I'll ask him. It's been about 5 months now since he got into office, and he had promised to be giving us an account of what has been going down. So, sir, you promised to be giving a report in your vetting. So my question is, anything for Kenyans to know on the progress so far and what you've done?
Good question. Yes, I promised during the vetting. And as a ministry,
yes,
we are compiling that report, and I think our minister will do a formal report on the same, on how his ministry has performed.
Yes.
But on my side, what I can say is, since we came in first, my agenda first is on business investment climate and business reforms. That's
yes,
what I've told you. And so far, I think the president has already given some pronounced himself on some pro-business reforms, like almost 10 of them, and some of them they are featured in the finance bill of 2020, 2023.
Yeah.
Let me give an example. One is we wanted to make sure that we have our national treatment of investors is almost equal. And there are no controls to capital flow. So if you look at our finance bill right now, before, a foreign investor, when they establish here, the tax rate was 37.5.
Before establishing?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, when you establish. So before this finance bill, it's 37.5.
Wow.
But now we are equalizing it. Just the same way a normal resident investor will pay 30%, the foreign investor will pay 30%.
Okay.
Yeah. The next thing the president has done is on the equity content when an investor comes into this country. In the ICT sector, there was you need to part 30% of your equity to a local investor before you can do business. So he has removed that. So we 100% foreign investment in the ICT and the digital space.
Okay.
So that as far as national treatment is concerned. But most of the businessmen and investors, they are concerned about the business taxation. And their main concern was the stability of our tax regime.
Okay.
The president has pronounced himself, and it is by June there's a tax policy which says now that any tax measures will be stable for at least 3 years. So you'll not have every year taxes being changed. So that it helps investors.
And you're right, by the way,
tax planning.
Sorry to interject on this, because that tax policy, it has been a heated one. Are we about to see it pass through Parliament?
Yes, in June it will pass.
That'll be very good.
And it has the private sector input. The president has pronounced himself, and our president, he says he means it. And that is what is building the investor confidence.
Yes.
We are revising that. We are building that investor through his pronouncement, and people believe him, because investor confidence is about trust. Maybe there was a trust deficit before, but people believe him when he says he commits, and people will invest. So that is one. The tax policy will now be stable. Okay. Then there's the issue of the refund. Well, it was affecting cash flows of many businesses. They're saying they could not get their VAT refunds. So what the president has said is, if your VAT refund has been verified, you don't have to wait to be paid. You can just deduct from your future tax liability. So you're sorted. So, and you can manage your cash flow. So those are among the things which many reforms we've been doing in the last 5 months. Even the VAT on exported services has been, it was 16 VAT, now it has been removed. So it is attracting now multinationals who wants to serve the rest of Africa or wherever they are. They can set up here and export their services at zero rated. That's a big opportunity for them to come set up here. And I think we now need to move from special economic zone, which are focusing on goods, to special economic zone focusing on services. So we can attract FDIs here and export services rather than exporting goods. So those are the reforms we've been putting. In terms of how much investments have come in so far, we have a target of $10 billion. So people say that is unreasonable. It's not unreasonable. It's a challenge which we are willing to take and unwilling to postpone. We know we put that target because we know it is hard. We can't put easy things. So if you look at the international FDI market, it's a 1.6 trillion. And what is coming to Africa, that is according to the World Economic Forum. Last year, 2022, what is coming from Africa is $83 billion. Africa.
Wow.
What is coming to East Africa is 8.1. Out of that 8.1, half of it is going to Ethiopia. And Kenya only 448 million US dollars came to Kenya.
Ah.
That is 2021.
Okay.
If you look at the trend, that is 2021, the trend, the highest FDI for the last regime was in 2018,
yes,
which was 1.1. So it has been dwindling from 1.1 billion US dollars
yes,
to 448.
Yeah.
And the highest ever FDI in Kenya is immediately after the constitution was passed, 2011.
Yeah.
It's when we got to 2.1.
Okay.
So, but we have given ourselves a target of 10.
Yes, 10.
So I can tell you with and you can take this to the bank, we will break the record of 2018. That was before the handshake.
Yes.
We'll also break the record of the immediately after the constitution.
Yes.
So our record will be the highest.
The highest.
Yeah. Even if we don't reach the 10 billion US dollars,
yes,
but it will be the highest ever in the Kenyan history. We are determined to deliver on that.
And I'll be back to check on that.
Yes.
As we come to the tail end of this conversation, which could have been longer, first of all, you've just touched...
But before you go to the... Just to demonstrate that it's doable, we have already closed the Moderna 500 million US dollar. So that in itself is 500 million. We are almost closing the United Green 250 million. The United Green is an investment in Kisumu.
Wow.
In the agricultural sector. In Dongokundu, we had closed 200 million US dollar Taifa Gas. So that is already one.
That's 1B.
1B.
Okay.
And the many more, which we are going to
1B in about 6 months. Okay.
Yes.
I can see the progress. If you keep on like this, then we're going to hit it.
We will reach the 10 billion.
Yes, and break
because we operate under the principle of 5 P's. One is we have the purpose. 2, we are passionate about the purpose.
Yes.
3, we have a plan. And 4, we are positive. That's the 4th P. And the 5th one, we have prayers. We have God who will help us. We will reach the target.
I love that. I can't escape this part of the bill, because one of the biggest debates, and I wanted to throw it to you, is about this housing thing. And then there are many other things that people are discussing, but I just wanted to throw to you, what is it that you want to do? Kenyans are watching with the housing agenda that you have thrown it in, and it's not sometimes flowing well in some quarters.
But that's a good thing that has ever happened to this country. I think.
Tell us.
First of all, it must be clear to Kenyans that this is not a tax. This is a saving plan. What the government or the president is trying to do is want to inculcate the culture of saving. Okay. So what we are doing basically is institutionalizing savings. Okay. Because our national saving rate right now is averaging 10%. What is our neighborhood is around 17%. 2020, it's I think 21. In Africa, the average is 17%. And for us to reach our middle income status, we need to have 25% of GDP. So we have a saving investment deficit of around 15. So if we do not do something, that there'll be a failure on government for failure to intervene. So we need to intervene. And this is one way of intervening, just to make sure we show up our saving. So with respect to the housing agenda, I think first of all, it is a saving which is with a direct benefits to the people who will be contributing. First, there's a cap. The cap is only 2,500.
That's true.
I don't think that will affect you. That's a cap. 3% but a cap is. So most people will be paying maybe 1,000. Second, immediately you pay the 2,500. The employers pay 2,500. So that is an investment which has double up in the first month. Isn't that beneficial?
50%, man.
100%.
100%, by the way.
Which investment can give you such a return?
That's true.
That is 3. You are saving your money in the next 7 years. You can either get a house or it will be returned to you with returns, because the money will be invested. But in the meantime, it is helping the government to do other things. So it saves for you. You will get your money in 7 years, which is increased. With a return of maybe, it depends with the market return. So what do you think is the problem with that? You don't feel like...
Well, I think there's need for more information. Let Kenyans get to know that this is what
the benefits of it.
And that's why you have spoken right now, and they can
But
hear.
Are you seeing the benefits?
No, it's clear.
100%, first of all, your money has doubled.
I'll get my money, whether I get the house or not, I'll get my money.
You'll get your money back if you want it, with interest.
Yes.
That's in the meantime, because this is the government of the people, by the people, for the people. You should be asking you should not be asking every time what the government is doing for you. What are you doing for this government?
you and I know that
Yes.
I think we can clearly see the benefits.
Yeah.
It's up to Kenyans to choose on this. And I hope really with your convincing,
Good.
they'll take it up.
But there's a Pt2 Department of Housing which he will
Expand
come and
more on
put it-
this.
Yes.
We will look for them.
Yes, yes.
Finally, you know, you just came from the Capital Markets Authority and that family misses you.
Is it?
What's in the intro? Anything for them? What's the message for them?
Okay, let me link it to the housing agenda.
Yes.
In the capital market space, in the capital market, there are some capital market instruments.
Yeah.
And one of the capital market instruments is real estate investment trust.
Great.
So we can use, and that there's been no uptake of that capital market instrument. The private sector, private investment can use that to complement what the government is doing in the housing agenda. Because I'm seeing where private sector, where the developer will have an SPV, maybe with county or the national government, and then once they have built their houses, during the construction period, they register the people who are interested, the hustlers, in this affordable housing. So once they are done, they can issue a REIT, so that the pension people who have long-term money, they can get in, they become REIT holders to that REIT, and then these hustlers can rent on in the next 30 years. So you can see how it flows.
Right.
The private sector, they do a joint venture with the county government or the national government, they build the affordable house. You know, the affordable housing, if you build, you have 40% discount. So at the time you are issuing the REITs, already someone is coming in with a security which is discounted at 40%. That is a value proposition, because the government is incentivizing the developer to the tune of 40%.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So if that house is sold at the market, it's around, if it's to the hustlers is 3 million, to the market is 6 million. So if even the hustler defaults, you can sell to the market at 6 million.
And get something. Yeah,
You get.
absolutely.
So I think capital markets needs to play in this space by that instrument. And the pension schemes, they have 15 eligible asset classes which they can invest in. But most of the pension and the pension schemes are putting their money in treasury bonds. Yeah, where they are seeing there is 14%, they are not thinking. They are portfolio managers. I was in that space. You need to think on how you're going to manage your portfolio. And, you know, they are not thinking. They just pull the money, put it in the bonds.
And how to blend with the government of the day.
Yes, you need to blend, and you see all those eligible investment classes. And there is one which is REIT. If you look at what pensions are doing, they're just putting like 0.01 of the pension money. So they can just reduce what they're putting in government bonds, put it in this asset class, which will help the government in its
and the population is growing, so we need housing.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Growing and rapidly urbanizing.
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
That's Abubakar, Hassan Abubakar, and he's speaking as it is and telling us, listen, guys, give them just a little bit more time. You will see. I leave you right now with the markets.